Hey, what's going on, crypto people? It's your boy Crypto Siege with another day in the life and the crazy life that is cryptocurrency. Guys, what is going on? How is everyone doing? Are we good? A lot of people are panicking, right? There's blood in the streets. There's blood in the streets, my friends, and people are panicking. It's a very, very interesting time. There is something you guys should check out. I believe it's called the Wall Street. Oh gosh, the Wall Street Cycle. I think it may be called the Wall Street Cycle, but it talks about the cycles and how people tend to the kind of like the emotional cycles of the market. If you guys know what that is, if you could put it in the comments to remind to help everyone out, I appreciate it. But it talks about going through the depression cycle, then the anger cycle, and probably the depressed and anger then there's other cycles that it goes through, and it's called the Wall Street something or another, and I forget what it was. Someone just told me about it, and I can't remember it. But you should check that out and understand how the market really reacts, and it tends to be really an emotional type of thing. And so when I see and I hear about blood being in the streets and being in a bear market, you got to look at it as an opportunity. At least we do. We look at it as an opportunity to strengthen our position or add to our position if we happen to earn a particular cryptocurrency. Maybe, with Bitcoin being at the numbers that it is, a lot of people are purchasing more Bitcoin. I believe the smart people are purchasing more Bitcoin. And then there are those who think, they kind of look at the markets and kind of tend to see how the altcoins are performing in relation to the Bitcoin. And we all know, based on past history, as Bitcoin goes, so does the altcoins. However, in terms of percentage gained, let's say we go into this quick kind of bull run that everyone's expecting that we're going to go into. Bitcoin may go from 6 to 25,000, and that's 4 times. But a particular current cryptocurrency during that same bull run may go, 10 times, may go 15 or 20 times, perhaps, or even more. And so it's an interesting play. Where I know we personally are starting to look into those and looking to take advantage of things. If you guys checked out my video the other day, I likened three cryptocurrencies. I compared them to Google, eBay, and Amazon, and I believe I did a video on XRP and EOS and Cardano, and mainly it was on XRP, but I was comparing those three businesses. Businesses where you and I, as the average Joe or Jane, can participate in those businesses. EOS, Cardano, and Ripple for less than a dollar. I noticed something the other day. What is his name? Ashton Kutcher. Like this guy is a big time business guy, investor, and apparently very, 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 very smart dude. And I saw something the other day with Ashton Kutcher, and I believe that he gave away millions of dollars in Stellar. He donated it. He donated millions of dollars in Stellar Lumens to some charity. And if I Google it, I can probably find it out for you guys. I don't know if it was the female comedian Ellen DeGeneres. Ashton Kutcher, Stellar Lumens. Let me see if something comes up that way. But my point to that whole thing was that he had that money. Yeah. Why Ashton Kutcher? Why am I saying Kushner? Why Ashton Kutcher donated $4 million in crypto to charity? Was it in XRP? I thought it was in Stellar. but I guess it no. I guess it was an XRP. But just I thought it was Stellar. Yeah, it was Ripple. So he gave, had this whole bunch of money of Ripple. I thought it was Stellar, but it was Ripple. But my point is, this guy's very, very smart investor. And here's the thing: do you think he gave away all of his XRP? Like, if he gave away 4 million, right? Don't you think you think he has some? Ashton Kutcher, an actor and tech investor, had a pretty non-traditional gift for TV host Ellen DeGeneres on Thursday. He donated $4 million in XRP to one of her charities, and I thought that was very, very interesting. The fact that he had it, and yeah, yep, 4 million, and obviously very, very smart guy. Like, invested in a lot of apps and really smart business guy. So it wasn't Stellar, but it was XRP. But I thought it was interesting that he had that much. He's very, very smart guy. You should definitely check him out and learn more about what he's doing. But I wanted to talk to you guys about this altcoin that is Stellar. A lot of people liken Stellar to XRP and think that they compete in the same spaces. They really don't, because XRP kind of competes more in the business to business space, obviously doing a lot of things with banks. And a Stellar, interestingly enough, the Stellar was kind of spun off from XRP. So the original creators of quote unquote Ripple, a guy's name is Jeff Caleb, I believe his name is. He's actually the guy who started Stellar. And I thought it was interesting that he was with Ripple, now he's with Stellar. To me, that says a smart guy. Has a certain knack for picking winners. And if you Google him, it's a very interesting background and how smart the guy is. But Stellar, guys, just want to kind of point out a couple of things to you. So first, I'm going to point out what Stellar did in May. And this is a very, very interesting thing, because Stellar kind of has this thing where companies like to create tokens, do ICOs on their blockchain. So they're not just, that peer-to-business, crazy fast, instant payment system. They also have a blockchain that people like to do their projects on. And so IBM was one of them. And so that's huge, right? Major company, IBM, to issue cryptocurrency token on the public Stellar blockchain, right? Computing giant IBM has announced that it has signed a partnership with environmental fintech startup Reliably Labs to issue a cryptocurrency token on the Stellar blockchain. The initiative, unveiled on Tuesday, will see IBM and Veridium tokenize carbon credits, enabling pollution-heavy companies to offset the damage the operations cause to environments. Proceeds from selling the VERDE, or Verde token, will be used to reforest a 250 square mile patch of rainforest on the island of Borneo in Indonesia. Now, I get a lot of this is about different things. Like, this is about taking part in the cryptocurrency space. This is about making people who own shareholders, making some money. I see those kind of things, but my point is that Stellar was chosen. Their blockchain was chosen by me. You think IBM did their homework? I don't know. You think the guys at IBM perhaps did their homework? There's a reason why they decided to do this on that particular blockchain. I think so. I think we, it's smart to pay attention to really smart guys. Here's an interesting thing. By using a public permission blockchain network, we can help Veridium create a new sustainable marketplace that is good for business and good for the world, said Bridget Van Klingingen, Senior Vice President of IBM's Industry Platforms and Blockchain Division. This is a great example of how industries are being reinvented by blockchain. In this case, establishing a far more efficient and transparent approach to carbon accounting and offsetting that will empower individuals and companies to play a role in improving our environment. She concluded, for me, that's that's a about trying to put on a certain face, the environmental friendly face type of deal. But you remember, IBM does their homework. Obviously, they're not going to, they've done their due diligence. They're not going to perhaps put something on a blockchain that maybe doesn't have credibility, that they don't see has some sustainability to it. It's these type of things. So when you see big guys like IBM doing things on a particular blockchain and picking a particular blockchain, it lends, in my humble opinion, it lends credibility to that particular blockchain, and that is happening to be Stellar. So an interesting thing, because Stellar is it's what trading today for about 22, currently 22 cents. Just about 22 cents. And so you think about that, again, I've always said that we're in the midst of the greatest transfer of wealth in the history of man. And this is our chance. You guys know, if you watch my videos, I always say this is our chance, the average Joe or Jane's chance to win. This is our chance to win, guys. And don't forget that old money doesn't want you to win. Old money doesn't want me to win, right? This is our chance. This cryptocurrency is our chance to participate like the big boys, to participate with the quote unquote accredited investors, to participate with institutional monies. Maybe not at their scale, but in the same marketplace, for us to able to get out there and grab our share of the marketplace without having to be a quote unquote accredited investor, having inside knowledge on this, and and being part of some board, some network of people who know people type deal, right? So this is our chance to compete on a somewhat level playing field. And so I look at Stellar, I look at something that is 22 cents, checking out my blockfolio at 22 cents. Again, a company that is doing great things with a project, and you have a chance to participate for 22 cents, right? And so that's what I look at when I look at Cardano, when I look at EOS. EOS is, a few dollars now. Still, for me, it's still a chance to participate, right? Obviously, there are bigger gains if things and projects like Cardano take off in the next 6, 10, 12 months, or XRP takes off in the next 6, 10, 12 months. Obviously, there are bigger gains. So does it cost a little bit more to participate in a project like EOS? But if you've done your homework, sure, it takes a little bit more. But if you do your homework, look at the project and kind of decide for yourself. That's what we've done, right? That's what we've done. We've done our homework, looked at the project. And for me, cryptocurrency is just an opportunity for me to win. And guys, I believe it's an opportunity for you to win. I'm not a financial planner. I'm certainly not giving you financial advice. But just think about it, just think about that. There's a chance for you to participate like the big boys do in a level, somewhat level playing field. This is our chance, guys. This is our chance to win. Cryptocurrency is our chance to win. And trust me, when we talk about bear markets and we see billionaires try to downplay something, then all of a sudden in a week to 10 weeks go out and purchase hundreds of millions of dollars of the same thing that they tried to scrutinize and tear apart. You got to pay attention to that type of thing. What is the reasoning behind that type of thing, right? So there's a reason behind that, guys, right? There's a reason behind that. And so, just as another one that we took a look at today, very, very excited, interested in this project for sure. And then we look to June, what Stellar is doing in June. Just think about this. Stellar in talks to acquire blockchain startup chain for $500 million in Stellar. Interesting thing here. Stellar, the creator of the Lumens, often stylized as Stellar cryptocurrency, is said to be engaged in talks to acquire blockchain startup chain for $500 million. Citing anonymous sources familiar with the discussions, Fortune magazine reports that Stellar will pay $500 million of XLM to acquire chain, which had previously raised more than $43 million from a variety of financial institutions, including Capital One, Citigroup, Nasdaq, and Visa. Guys, that's chain previously got money from those companies, as well as tech-focused funds such as Khosla Ventures, Blockchain Capital, and Pantera Capital. Right. So you got to just kind of think about that move. It's not clear what Stellar's plans are for the San Francisco-based chain, which develops enterprise blockchain solutions, including Sequence, a ledger as a service product that allows organizations to transfer balances in token format on private ledgers. According to Fortune, Stellar's interest in chain is largely based on the fact that the firm has talented blockchain developers, which are in high demand but short of supply. Such acqui-hires have become increasingly common in the ecosystem, particularly among cash-rich firms like Coinbase. And so what they're saying is Stellar is out there buying companies with great appeal and great upside, but also have presently smart, intelligent, very talented blockchain developers, right? So that's a brilliant move. If they make it happen, it's a brilliant move in two counts. Number one, it's a company that's doing things that they're looking to acquire, but they already have in place talented blockchain developers who obviously will add to the blockchain that Stellar or Lumens Stellar currently has. So that's a smart move. And so, like I said in my last video, that's what I look for. I look for these companies and these projects that are out there and making moves. And you don't know in the end, things like this are long-term plays. There's going to be a few around that make it. It's going to be a few around that make it, and we don't know. We don't know what they're going to be, but I always look at the top 20 to 25, see what I like, see what I think has a particular chance to make it long-term, and then you kind of go from there. What else can you do but choose to participate in a particular project and and increase your position and each one dollar cost average in if that's something that you need to do, and kind of go from there. At least that's what we are doing. And again, I'm not telling you to do that, but certainly that is something that we are doing, and very excited about it, because again, I believe this is our chance. I didn't have a chance to get any Google or any eBay or any Amazon. I heard an interesting statistic the other day. Did you know that Amazon, guys, I want you to think about this, because people talk about bear markets, right? And the cryptocurrency in this bear market, and Bitcoin losing 70 to 77% of its from its all-time high. And I saw something the other day, and I believe this to be a fact, but check it out, do your homework. Amazon, during its one bear market, I forget which one it was, lost 94 or 96% of its value. 94 to 96% Amazon lost. 94. We're talking about 77% with Bitcoin. 94%. And I think it went from $100 to $5, something like that. But look at them today. So when we see a bear market in the cryptocurrency space, and you see Bitcoin back 77%, you go to coinmarketcap.com, and perhaps the top 5 or top 10 are 75 to 79% from their all-time highs. And then you think over a 2-year bear market, 2 years, Amazon went 94% loss in value over a 2-year bear market. 94%. How many would have at 50%, oh man, I'm out. 60%, I'm out. 70%, oh my god, 75%, 80%. What about it got to 90%? How many would have held on? 90 plus percent, 91%. How many of you would have held on? Right? And now today, I think, $1,000 or something you know, for Amazon. You talking about the wealthiest guy in the world, and Jeff Bezos? How many would have held on? How many would have freaked out? You know, interesting thing. And so we talk about crypto and Bitcoin being down 70 some percent, and major companies like Amazon 90 something percent. Think about that, guys. So at present, Stellar ranks as the world's seventh largest crypto with a market cap of 4.3 billion. The token has just 40 million in daily trading volume, meaning that if chain investors rush to sell a small percentage of the tokens, they could see a severe down pressure on Stellar exchanging price, and at least in the short term. In the short term, right? So for people who are looking to get some of that, that's perhaps not a bad deal. Perhaps just what is going on now, because I know I believe Stellar at one time was 50 something percent, right? So now it's at 20 something percent, right? So nevertheless, the Stellar price largely tracked with the overall cryptocurrency market on Thursday. And this is from June, guys. So declining 6/10 at 1% of value of 23%. So it's still under 20% today. So that was a month ago, not even a month ago. But just think about that, guys. Are you thinking about what's going on? Are you thinking about it? Are you looking at it from a savvy investor's perspective? You know, are you looking at it that way? You know what I mean? Some people got it Stellar at 1 cent, less than 1 cent, perhaps. I don't know what they entered in the market as. Perhaps at 1 cent. Some people got it at 1 cent. So from 1 cent to 53%, now it's at 23%. Are you still good? Are you still good at 23 cents or 22 cents when you got it at 1 cent? Then that's the thing you have to look at. Again, we are in the midst of the greatest transfer of wealth in the history of mankind, and I just wanted to point this out to you. And I'm going to be doing more videos, on the altcoins, and just kind of give you guys some insight. And I don't know. For me, my wish for you is you take a serious hard look at the space and see if it makes sense to you, to see if you want to participate. That's my wish for you. All I do know is this, that we are in the midst of the greatest transfer of wealth in the history of man. Old money, guys. Old money doesn't want you to win. They don't want me to win. They want us to stand on the sidelines. They want us to believe the news. They want us to run away. Those who are already participating in the cryptocurrency space, they want you to fold your hand and run away. That's what they want, guys. That's what they want. So I hope you understand the game. And I hope you understand that it's not about Bitcoin, but the underlying technology. It's about hash graph. It's about cryptography. It's about blockchain technology. It's about advancing. It's about that the dollar has lost 90% of its value. It's about a new era in currency, and it's digital currency. It's about taking advantage of a period in time that we'll look back 10, 15 years from now. We can look back 10, 15, 10, 15 years from now, we'll be able to look back and say that I took a shot. I know that's what we're saying. That's what we see. We see 10, 15 years from now and saying that we took a shot and we were blessed to be in a position to have a chance to participate in the greatest transfer of wealth in the history of man. It is undeniably so, that fact, and we're early. If you choose to participate, you're still early in this game. It hasn't got nowhere near mass adoption yet. Institutional money hasn't even gotten in fully, and they're waiting. They're waiting for some regulations and stuff like that to come to fold. They're waiting for more custodial type platforms where they can place the money and give their quote unquote investors or a sense of a better sense of relief. So they can sleep at night because there's more of a custodial presence or platform for their money. I get that. I totally get that. But understand it's coming. In my humble opinion, institutional money is coming. When it happens, it's over. It is like game over. So we decided we're going to just dollar cost average into this bad boy. That's what we're going to do. Dollar cost average in every single dollar, here it goes, right? So, for us, right, it's no extra clothes shopping and no extra shoes shopping and no extra watch shopping, right? It's about, dollar cost averaging in and leveraging where we are, which is and we're in the midst of the greatest transfer of wealth in the history of man. So here's the thing, guys. Old money doesn't want you to win, like I said. We are in the midst of the greatest transfer of wealth in the history of man, like I said. Are you participating? Are you participating? Here's what I do know. The battle for you has already been fought, guys. And the victory is yours. The question is, will you go get it? Let me give you guys a little bit of inspiration. Check this dude out. This is Chris Record.
Bitcoin and things like it is the equivalent of the red pill.
This is a technology, it's a computing language, and I can build an app on it.
Is Bitcoin the currency of the future?
Crypto gang, it's the game, big game, all game, light game, cash game, blockchain, whoa. I don't really ever buy stocks, man. Haters wanna say I'm in a bubble, man. Chew them up like bubble gum. Just made a meal with my pocket change.
Some inspiration for you guys. Just think about it.
Huddle gang. Crypto gang, it's the game, big game, all game, light game, cash game, blockchain, whoa. I don't really ever buy stocks, man. Haters wanna say I'm in a bubble, man. Chew them up like bubble gum. Just made a meal with my pocket change. Wreck about to go and join the huddle gang. Huddle gang. Ethereum pays for my rent. Bitcoin pays for the bets. Litecoin pays for the jets. Bitcoin cash for the rest. Spent 30 racks on an ICO. What coin did you buy? I forgot, yo. Just got started last night, bro. And I'm already hooked like a pipe though. Flipping the coin, making it grow, taking it slow, letting it go. Cash flow's growing, it's incredible to watch it flow. Stacking the cash, taking it home, making it fast. I wanna roll. Little bit mo's all I ask for the bubble though. Currently learning about a new type of currency. Burning the dollar down like an emergency. Urgently, listen, my friends have been urging me. Coins have been surging, we're earning like surgency. We on a mission, man. Crypto maniac. Act like you don't really know about it. Stop that. Bitcoin blowing up like a bomb. Step back. Used to be a couple $100. Should've copped that. Blew up on the scene from the mind of a brainiac. Back in 2009, where the miners at? Silk Road, baby, it's gotta be anonymous. Satoshi blew up, now we on the map. Crypto gang, it's the game, big game, all game, light game, cash game,
go check this
blockchain.
guy out.
I don't really ever buy
Chris
stocks, man.
Record Vlog.
Haters wanna
Go
say
check
I'm
him
in
out
a
on
bubble,
YouTube.
man. Chew them up like bubble gum. Just made a meal with my pocket change. Wreck about to go and join the huddle gang. Huddle gang. Everybody looking at me now and they're shocked now.
This is our chance to win, guys.
I'ma cop
This
more
is
at a
our
discount with a
chance
smile,
to
cause I'm
win.
making money on the altcoins right now. I'ma double down like animal style sub now. People in the crowd, they watching me bubble
Old
up
money
now.
can't
Open
stop
up a
us.
brand new Coinbase account and I'm
Old
buying
money
everything
can't
from
stop
people
us.
to Litecoin now. Pull out my principle, keep it real simple, then play with the house. Investing in crypto, I'm chasing these coins like they chase to a mouse. I'm on the verge of a digital currency, merging technologies. This is the future, so obviously I'm all in. There's no bottom, we hodling now. Hodl gang. Throw your hands in the air, man. If you dip it down with the blockchain. I ain't got time for the haters, man. We about to grow to 1 million.
No time for the haters.
Tell me, are you down with the crypto? Hodl gang.
I hope you guys make a decision, Hope you guys decide that, that you're deserving.
I ain't got time for
That's the decision we had to make. We had to make a decision that we are deserving. This is our shot. We don't want to look back 10, 15 years from now and say that we never took a shot.
I believe, since the invention of agriculture.
Bitcoin is exciting because it shows how cheap it can be. Bitcoin is better than currency.
As with most major technology shifts, let's think about what young people are doing. 32% of young people say they prefer Bitcoin to stocks. 42% of millennial males say they plan to purchase Bitcoin in the next 5 years. We're barely in the first inning right now.
Make sure you guys go check them out. It's Chris Record Vlogs on YouTube. Listen, guys, you guys have a great night. And I'll talk to you soon. See ya.